Welcome to my books and story time by mybooksummary.com. Let's explore. In Girl, Wash Your Face, Rachel Hollis presents an intimate, unfiltered account of the lies she once told herself, the false narratives that held her back from embracing her full potential. More than just a self-help manual, this book serves as a clarion call for women to reclaim their power, dispel the myths that chain them to mediocrity, and courageously step into a life of authenticity. Hollis invites her readers to join her on a transformative journey, a pilgrimage of sorts that dismantles perfectionism, self-doubt, and fear, replacing them with resilience, accountability, and self-compassion. Right from the opening pages, Hollis sets a bold tone. Her prose is unapologetically candid, a mix of humor, vulnerability, and burning determination. The book's structure, divided into chapters that each confront a different lie she once believed, is more than a simple checklist for self-improvement. It's an intricately woven narrative, blending personal anecdotes with insightful observations, addressing the multifaceted challenges of modern womanhood. Through her story, Hollis challenges societal expectations, particularly those that dictate what it means to be a successful woman, partner, mother, and friend. Her journey is not just about achieving external success, but rather about cultivating a wholehearted connection with oneself. With each chapter, the reader is encouraged to examine the personal and cultural messages that have often kept them from acknowledging their own worth. Hollis insists that the path to happiness does not lie in conforming to an ideal, but rather in owning one's unique journey, even if that means making mistakes along the way. She paints a picture of life as a series of imperfect moments, each brimming with the potential for growth and genuine happiness, if only we dare to confront our inner critic. Chapter 1. Something Else Will Make Me Happy. The Mirage of External Fulfillment. Hollis opens the book by debunking the myth that happiness is always just one purchase away, or that it will magically arrive when the right opportunity appears. This first lie, "Something else will make me happy," is a familiar refrain in a world captivated by consumer culture and endless possibilities. In her narrative, Hollis recalls numerous moments when she placed her happiness on a distant, almost mythical horizon, believing that the next promotion, the perfect relationship, or even the ideal home would provide the satisfaction she so desperately craved. With engaging candor, she describes the futility of postponing joy, noting that even after attaining her goal, the momentary ecstasy quickly dissipated, leaving her searching for the next elusive source of fulfillment. Hollis challenges readers to recognize that while external accomplishments can enhance life, they do not constitute its very essence. The heart of happiness lies in the ability to appreciate the present, to find contentment in one's own worth, regardless of external validations or material markers of success. Here, she plants the seed of a powerful idea, that the pursuit of happiness must begin from within, fueled by self-acceptance and an acknowledgement that no external item or event can substitute the inner glow of personal fulfillment. Chapter 2. I'll Start Tomorrow. The Trap of Procrastination and the Illusion of Perfect Timing. Tomorrow is a word that hides both promise and procrastination, a promise of a fresh start that never quite arrives. In this chapter, Hollis confronts the insidious belief that there will always be a better day, or a perfect moment, in which to begin the pursuit of one's dreams. Drawing on her own experiences, she vividly recounts the countless mornings where the alarm clock signaled the start of a new day, yet the day itself was surrendered to self-doubt or distractions. Hollis's narrative is punctuated by humor and relatable mishaps, making it easy for readers to see themselves in her struggle. Her message is clear. Waiting for the elusive tomorrow only serves to rob us of precious time in the here and now. Instead, she calls for decisive action, small steps that cumulatively lead to monumental shifts. The chapter serves as both a confession and a rallying cry, urging women to cast off the paralyzing grip of inertia and embrace the present moment. By acknowledging that perfection is an illusion and that progress is made one step at a time, Hollis demonstrates that starting today, with all its imperfections, is far more valuable than a meticulously planned tomorrow that never comes. Chapter 3. I'm Not Good Enough. Challenging the Parasite of Self-Doubt. Perhaps one of the most resonant themes in Hollis's book is the pervasive belief that one is inherently inadequate, a poison that seeps into every interaction and decision. In I'm Not Good Enough, she reveals the internal monologue of self-doubt that plagued her during formative years. She shares deeply personal moments of vulnerability, the insecurity that shadowed her achievements, the nagging fear that she would never measure up to the expectations set by society, family, or even her own heart. Through masterfully crafted prose, Hollis transforms this common insecurity into a call for self-compassion. Her honest portrayal of these struggles is both grounding and liberating, as she skillfully demonstrates that self-worth is not measured by external accolades or comparisons, but is an inherent quality that exists within each individual. In debunking this lie, she empowers readers to silence the inner critic, to replace the refrain of inadequacy with affirmations of strength and resilience. Hollis's transformation, from a person crippled by the belief of not being enough to someone who stands tall in her authenticity, is both inspiring and instructive, inviting readers to embark on their own journey towards self-acceptance. Chapter 4. I'm Better Than You. Dismantling the Facade of Superiority. A surprising yet crucial lie addressed by Hollis is the notion of superiority, the idea that one's value is affirmed by comparing oneself to others. I'm better than you is less about overt arrogance and more about the subtle ways in which comparisons can distort self-perception and sabotage genuine connection with others. Hollis exposes the trap of ranking oneself against peers, family members, or even strangers, a practice that often leaves individuals feeling isolated and disconnected. Drawing from personal anecdotes, she reveals the times when she donned a facade of superiority to mask her own insecurities. However, this disguise eventually unraveled, leading her to understand that true strength lies not in elevating oneself above others, but in celebrating the unique qualities that each person brings to the table. Hollis's reflections on this lie serve as a reminder that competition with oneself is far more productive than competition with others. In embracing humility and recognizing that every person is fighting their own battles, readers are invited to cultivate empathy and forge deeper, more authentic relationships. Chapter 5. Loving Him is Enough for Me. Redefining Love and Personal Identity. In a society that often teaches women to lose themselves in relationships, Hollis tackles the myth that a romantic partnership can single-handedly fulfill every emotional need. Loving Him is Enough for Me recounts her early experiences where her identity was so intertwined with her partner's that she almost completely lost track of who she was. Through poignant recollections of moments filled with both passion and self-erasure, Hollis illustrates the peril of equating love with personal validation. With the finesse of a seasoned storyteller, she explains that while love is an enriching part of life, it is not a substitute for self-love. Hollis articulates that true fulfillment comes from nurturing one's own passions, interests, and dreams, elements that contribute to a vibrant, multifaceted identity. By establishing clear boundaries and maintaining a distinct sense of self, she argues, women can form healthier, more balanced relationships where both partners flourish independently and together. This chapter thus becomes a powerful exploration of interdependence versus dependency, urging readers to embrace love not as a life raft, but as a partner in the journey of self-discovery. Chapter 6. No is the final answer. Rejection as a catalyst for growth. Rejection, an inevitable facet of life, is reframed in this chapter not as an endpoint, but as a redirection towards something greater. Hollis opens up about the stinging pain of hearing no, and the subsequent temptation to view it as a personal failure. However, she masterfully flips the narrative, suggesting that each rejection is an opportunity to refine one's path and emerge stronger. Her narrative is punctuated by moments of raw vulnerability, where the sting of a no turned into invaluable lessons. She explains how rejections, whether in personal relationships or professional endeavors, often served as guideposts redirecting her toward opportunities that were more aligned with her authentic self. By learning to embrace no as a necessary component of growth, Hollis not only demystifies the fear of rejection, but also empowers her readers to see setbacks as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. This chapter is a testament to the idea that resilience is born of failure, the courage to persist, adapt, and ultimately discover that every no brings one closer to the right yes. Chapter 7. I'm Bad at Sex. Embracing Vulnerability and Intimacy. Sexuality, often a subject veiled in societal taboos and personal insecurities, is addressed with refreshing frankness in this chapter. Hollis recalls her own struggle with body image and the pressure to conform to an unrealistic standard of sexuality. The lie, I'm bad at sex, is confronted head-on as she discusses the internalized shame and hesitation that once prevented her from fully enjoying and expressing her desires. In a style both intimate and empowering, Hollis details her journey toward reclaiming her sexual identity. She advocates for open communication with partners, encouraging a dialogue that transforms intimacy from a source of anxiety to one of mutual exploration and pleasure. Her insights go beyond the physical aspects of sex. They encompass the emotional and psychological liberation that comes from dismantling societal norms. This chapter is a celebration of sexual agency and a call for women to embrace their bodies with confidence, understanding that true intimacy begins with accepting and celebrating oneself. Chapter 8. I Don't Know How to Be a Mom. The Imperfect Art of Motherhood. Motherhood is one of the most cherished yet challenging roles for any woman, and Hollis delves deeply into her personal experiences as a mother. I Don't Know How to Be a Mom captures the raw, unfiltered reality of balancing the responsibilities of parenting with the desire to maintain one's own identity. Hollis recounts moments of overwhelming self-doubt, the constant internal dialogue questioning if she was providing enough care, love, and guidance to her children. What makes this chapter profoundly relatable is Hollis's insistence that perfection in parenting is a myth. She paints a vivid picture of the chaos and beauty inherent in motherhood, acknowledging that mistakes are not failures, but opportunities for growth and connection. Through heartfelt stories and candid reflections, she encourages mothers to practice self-forgiveness, to listen to their instincts, and to understand that every day offers a fresh start. In doing so, Hollis redefines what it means to be a good mother, not by an unattainable standard of perfection, but by the love, effort, and resilience poured into each moment with one's children. Chapter 9. I'm Not a Good Mom. Embracing Imperfection in Parenting. Building upon the revelations of the previous chapter, Hollis continues her exploration of motherhood in I'm Not a Good Mom. Here, she directly confronts the guilt that many mothers feel when their expectations of perfection are inevitably unmet. Hollis lays bare the myth that a mother must always be perfect, a standard that not only is unrealistic, but also detrimental to both the parent and the child. In a series of richly detailed anecdotes, she illustrates how the constant pressure to be flawless undermines the authentic and loving relationship that can flourish when imperfection is accepted. Hollis's narrative is both comforting and liberating. It reassures readers that vulnerability and human error are not marks of inadequacy, but signs of engagement in the messy, beautiful process of raising a child. Her reflective tone resonates with mothers who struggle with self-criticism, offering them a gentle reminder that their best efforts, even when flawed, are more than enough. Chapter 10. I'm Not a Good Wife. Redefining Partnership Through Honesty. Navigating the complexities of marriage is a recurring theme in Girl, Wash Your Face. And in the chapter, I'm Not a Good Wife, Hollis examines the interplay between personal identity and the roles we assume in intimate relationships. She shares candid stories from her own marriage, where the pressures of society to be an immaculate partner clashed with the raw reality of being human. Here, Hollis dismantles the expectation that a marriage should be a picture-perfect paradise, arguing instead that vulnerability, honest communication, and mutual effort are the cornerstones of a lasting relationship. Throughout this chapter, she paints a compelling picture of marriage as an evolving partnership, one that requires continuous work, compromise, and the willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. Her insights encourage readers to rethink the narratives around marriage that often idolize perfection, instead advocating for relationships built on realistic expectations, empathy, and an unwavering commitment to growth. Hollis's portrayal of her own journey serves as both a cautionary tale and a beacon of hope, inviting couples to cherish authenticity over facade and to recognize that true intimacy flourishes in the spaces where honesty and vulnerability intersect. Chapter 17. I'm Defined by My Weight. Redefining Beauty and Embracing Body Positivity. In one of the most compelling chapters, Hollis confronts the harsh, often relentless societal judgment that reduces one's worth to a number on a scale. I'm Defined by My Weight is an impassioned rebuttal of the narrow and damaging definitions of beauty that have haunted women for generations. Hollis's personal struggles with body image are recounted with raw honesty, illustrating the daily battles faced in reconciling one's internal worth with external judgments. Rather than succumbing to the pervasive lies of the beauty industry, she chooses to reclaim her body and define her own standards of attractiveness. The narrative is not merely about weight or appearance. It is about cultivating a deep-seated respect and love for oneself that transcends physical dimensions. Hollis's journey toward body positivity is a rallying cry for every reader to see beyond superficial metrics and celebrate the unique, irreplaceable beauty that resides within. Chapter 18. I Need a Drink. Overcoming the dependency on temporary relief. Stress, anxiety, and the pressures of daily life often drive people toward quick fixes, temporary relief that ultimately obscures the true work of healing. In I Need a Drink, Hollis delves into her own experiences with relying on alcohol as a means to cope with life's inevitable challenges. With unflinching honesty, she recounts moments where the numbing allure of a drink seemed like an escape from overwhelming emotions, only to leave behind a lingering emptiness. The chapter is a candid exploration of how using substances to silence pain can become a vicious cycle. Hollis takes the reader through the arduous process of recognizing these patterns, understanding their roots, and ultimately seeking healthier, more sustainable paths to manage stress and anxiety. Her reflections are both a confession and a guide, urging readers to face their struggles head-on, rather than seeking solace in fleeting escapes. This honest introspection provides the groundwork for a more empowered way of dealing with life's hardships, one where emotional resilience is built brick by brick. Chapter 19. There's Only One Right Way to Be. Celebrating the spectrum of authenticity. Every society, every culture, and every community often harbors rigid expectations about what constitutes the right way to live, love, and succeed. In this reflective chapter, Hollis challenges this monolithic viewpoint head-on. There's only one right way to be is a clarion call to reject the often stifling societal norms that confine individuals within restrictive boxes, and instead, to celebrate the vibrant diversity of life's myriad expressions. Hollis weaves together personal experiences and broader cultural observations to illustrate that the beauty of life lies in its plurality, its myriad approaches to creativity, success, love, and happiness. She invites readers to liberate themselves from the pressure to conform, asserting that the true path to fulfillment is found by daring to chart your own course, however unconventional it may seem. The narrative is both liberating and affirming. There is no blueprint for a perfect life, only the rich, layered tapestry of experiences that emerge when one dares to live authentically. Chapter 20. I Need a Hero. Becoming the architect of one's own destiny. In the final chapter of the book, Hollis confronts one of the most disempowering lies of all: the belief that salvation must come from outside, that a hero must appear to rescue us from our struggles. I Need a Hero is an empowering epilogue that reframes the narrative. Instead of waiting for someone else to save you, you must be your own champion. Drawing on every lesson learned from her battles with self-doubt, societal pressures, and personal setbacks, Hollis implores readers to step into the fullness of their own lives. Through a series of stirring insights and reflective passages, she dismantles the dependency on external validation and champions the idea of self-reliance. The message is clear and resonant. Every woman holds within her the power to be her own hero, and by taking responsibility for her life, she can shape a future that is not dictated by the past, but carved by her own determined will. Synthesis: the transformative power of confronting the lies. Across its 20 chapters, Girl, Wash Your Face stands as a vibrant manifesto for personal transformation. Rachel Hollis's candid recounting of the lies that once paralyzed her is more than a memoir. It is a handbook for liberation. Each lie, from procrastination to the myths surrounding beauty and perfection, is deconstructed with such raw honesty that it compels the reader to re-examine their own internal narratives. Hollis makes it clear that while external circumstances may be fraught with challenges, the greatest battles are often fought within. The process of dismantling these internalized falsehoods requires resilience, self-forgiveness, and above all, courage to embrace one's true self. Her writing is imbued with a palpable authenticity. Every page reflects a deep understanding of the complexities of human emotion. Whether discussing the delicate balance between motherhood and personal ambition, or exploring the intimate nuances of romantic relationships, Hollis's voice is both gentle and assertive. She does not promise an effortless transformation, but she does offer a roadmap, a series of practical steps drawn from personal experience that encourage action and mindfulness. A recurrent motif in the book is the importance of personal responsibility. Hollis insists that waiting for the right moment, whether it's the perfect partner, the ideal job, or a flawless self-image, is a mirage. Instead, she urges every reader to seize the present and make small, deliberate changes that collectively pave the way for lasting happiness. This sense of urgency is balanced by a compassionate understanding that change is a process, and one that is often messy and nonlinear. The broader impact, why Girl Wash Your Face resonates. The power of Hollis's message lies in its universality. While her experiences are uniquely personal, the themes she touches on echo in the hearts of countless women, and indeed, anyone who has ever struggled with self-doubt or felt constrained by societal expectations. At its core, the book is a celebration of imperfection and the beauty of the messy, unfiltered human experience. Hollis's masterstroke is her ability to transform everyday struggles into opportunities for growth. By acknowledging that life is filled with contradictions, the simultaneous presence of pain and joy, failure and success, she crafts a narrative that is both optimistic and realistic. Her journey is not one of triumph over adversity in a single sweeping narrative. Rather, it is a continuous, evolving process of facing reality head-on, learning from each stumble, and daring to dream despite it all. For the reader who has ever felt overwhelmed by the many demands of life, Hollis's book offers a kind of gentle rebellion against perfectionism. It is a reminder that real growth is not measured by how flawlessly we perform our roles, but by how authentically we engage with life's challenges and joys. By capturing the raw, unedited moments of her own journey, times of failure and moments of triumph alike, she lays bare a universal truth: that the pursuit of a meaningful life is not about eradicating mistakes, but about embracing the journey with all its inherent imperfections. In conclusion, a celebration of authenticity and self-liberation. As we reach the conclusion of our comprehensive exploration, it becomes clear that Girl, Wash Your Face is not merely a book. It is an invitation to transform. Rachel Hollis's narrative is an ode to the indomitable spirit within each of us. By confronting the lies that have long held us back, whether it is the lure of postponed happiness, the paralysis of self-doubt, or the misleading promises of societal perfection, we are called to reclaim ownership of our lives. The book's chapters, each an exploration of a different facet of the human experience, serve as both mirrors and guides. They reflect back the struggles that many of us face, and in doing so, they light a path forward, a journey that is as challenging as it is rewarding. Hollis's eloquent prose, combined with her unwavering authenticity, leaves a profound impact, a challenge to look within, to question long-held beliefs, and ultimately, to wash away the accumulated falsehoods that inhibit us from living our fullest lives. In embracing our imperfections, we discover that true strength lies in vulnerability, and in owning both our successes and our failures. Girl, Wash Your Face does not claim to offer a magic solution, but rather, it provides a framework, a series of heartfelt lessons that, when applied, can lead to significant personal and emotional breakthroughs. For anyone eager to break free from the confines of self-imposed limitations, This book stands as a powerful testament to the transformative power of self-awareness and genuine self-love. As you turn these pages, you are not merely reading about change. You are witnessing an evolution, a deeply personal transformation that echoes the universal struggle to reconcile who we are with who we wish to become. And in that transformation, you may very well find the courage to cast aside the lies of yesterday and embrace the promise of a more authentic tomorrow. Reflecting on the journey, the intellectual and emotional journey mapped out by Rachel Hollis in Girl, Wash Your Face is both expansive and deeply personal. As you digest her words, consider the times you have postponed your happiness for a hypothetical tomorrow, or hidden behind a mask of perfection. Let this narrative serve as an empowering reminder that the truth of your experience, with all its messy details and imperfections, is the foundation upon which a rich, rewarding life is built. Hollis's reflections on relationships, whether in the context of love, marriage, or motherhood, underscore an invaluable lesson. That meaningful connection begins when we honor our true selves. In a world that often rewards conformity and superficial success, her insistence on authenticity is nothing short of revolutionary. Each chapter serves as a beacon of encouragement, urging us to cast aside the limiting beliefs that have too long defined our existence. From the raw honesty of acknowledging our vulnerabilities to the bold assertion of personal responsibility, every lesson in this book is an invitation to step into a life of unbridled possibility. Whether you are a young woman trying to carve out your own identity in a complex world, a mother struggling to balance personal aspirations with the demands of family, or anyone seeking a deeper understanding of self-worth, the lessons in Girl, Wash Your Face resonate on multiple levels. Embracing the lessons, a final word. In the final analysis, Girl, Wash Your Face stands as both a memoir and a manifesto, a clarion call for women to reject the lies that have been fed to them from a young age. It is an invitation to see that the barriers to success, happiness, and fulfillment are not imposed solely by external forces, but are often the constructs of our own minds. With every lie Hollis dismantles, she lights a pathway to liberation, a path paved with self-love, accountability, and the courage to live authentically. The journey through this book is not just a passive reading experience. It is an active engagement with the most intimate parts of oneself. By re-examining the stories we tell about who we are and what we can achieve, we empower ourselves to rewrite those narratives. As you close the book, you carry with you not just a series of lessons, but a renewed sense of possibility, a belief that you are the architect of your own destiny, with the strength and resilience to overcome any obstacle. In essence, Rachel Hollis offers more than advice in Girl, Wash Your Face. She offers a celebration of life in all its imperfect glory. Her story is an assurance that every woman has the power to shed the weight of false expectations and to step boldly into her own light. And that is a message worth embracing. Epilogue, a call to action and a celebration of life. As our detailed exploration draws to a close, consider this comprehensive summary not as an endpoint, but as a catalyst for your own personal transformation. Each chapter, every lesson, and the overarching narrative of Girl, Wash Your Face is an ode to the resilience of the human spirit. A reminder that even in our darkest moments, the potential for renewal and rebirth exists. Rachel Hollis's journey, articulated with unyielding honesty and a touch of irreverent humor, invites us all to take a long, hard look at the lies we've internalized. It challenges us to discard these self-imposed limitations and to craft a narrative defined not by fear or doubt, but by hope, purpose, and unapologetic authenticity. In a world saturated with voices urging conformity and perfection, Hollis's message is both timely and timeless. It is a call to live boldly, to embrace imperfections, and to pursue happiness on our own terms. So, as you move forward from these words, may you be inspired to break free from the confines of tomorrow and seize the transformative power of today. And most importantly, may you always remember, the hero you've been waiting for is already within you. Stay tuned for more enlightening content. Head over to www.mybooksummary.com. Don't forget to subscribe and share the magic with friends. and let's grow together through the power of books and interesting stories.